Hello and welcome to our analysis for EDEN345 Assessment Task 3. My colleague Chelsea Dunn and I, Marissa D'Souza, have collaborated to analyse the productive literacies of an EALD learner and differentiate a mainstream unit of work. We look forward to sharing our findings today. Our presentation begins with the context and analysis of student A's writing sample, identifying his strengths and specific areas for development. Our focus learner is student A Year 6 boy from Taiwan who arrived in Australia this year with some prior English exposure. We analysed his writing using the ACRA EALD Learning Progressions Framework to identify his strengths and specific linguistic needs. Student A's writing on a butterfly's life cycle shows key strengths. He clearly understands the explanation genre's macro structure using sequencing conjunctions like first, second, and lastly, demonstrating a beginning level for organising ideas. He has a strong grasp of the content, accurately using technical vocabulary like chrysalis and metamorphosis, indicating a developing stage for vocabulary. On the progressions. These strengths confirm his conceptual knowledge, which we can build upon. However, our analysis clearly highlights areas requiring explicit instructional support for student A to successfully transition towards the academic register of Stage 3. His main challenges lie at the micro level of grammar and text cohesion. We identified two key issues: grammatical errors. These include poor control over morphemes, such as incorrect pluralization, insect instead of insects, and significant issues with subject-verb agreement, caterpillar begin instead of caterpillar begins. Cohesion challenges. These are evident in the omission of necessary linking words, eat as much possible, as well as minor errors in punctuation and spelling. Collectively, these issues significantly impact the overall readability and the required level of academic formality of his written explanation. In summary, while student A possesses strong conceptual understanding, his primary challenges are at the micro level of grammar and text cohesion. The repetitive final paragraph in his sample reinforces the need for explicit teaching in developing a formal, non-redundant conclusion. He requires intensive scaffolding to shift his writing from simple sentences to the complex structures that use causal language to build academic arguments. As Harper and Fee's 2021 emphasise, EALD learners require clear modelling for linking sentences and paragraphs smoothly. These identified needs in grammatical accuracy, textual cohesion, and sentence complexity now form the foundation for our proposed differentiated strategies. Now that we've clearly established student A's specific linguistic deficits, Chelsea will take us through the next session, analysing how the mainstream unit structure and high language demands clash with these identified needs.
Thank you, Marissa. Now that we've established student A's proficiency, we transition to Section 2, Analysing the Unit of Work. This section measures the unit's demands against student A's language needs, focusing on the genre, staging, language features, and the activities where challenges arise. The Stage 3 goal is for students to produce an explanation text detailing how and why natural phenomena such as cyclones occur. This genre requires control of academic language that aligns directly with student A's gaps. Identifying these linguistic gaps is essential to supporting his writing development. The target text, Why Do We Get Tropical Cyclones, operates in a formal academic register. While student A can sequence ideas using first and second, he needs explicit teaching to manage the staging of an explanation, moving from phenomenon identification to linked explanation sequences. He must transition from listing steps to crafting cohesive multi-paragraph sequences that clearly show cause and effect relationships. This is our model text, Why Do We Get Tropical Cyclones, in Appendix 4. Moving to the micro level, the model text presents several challenges. Firstly, we have technical vocabulary. Dense terms like air pressure and atmosphere require explicit spelling and meaning support. Next, we have causal connectors. The genre relies on when, because, and as a result to show causation. However, student A has a limited grasp of complex sentences. Without strong prior scaffolding on sentence structure, fill-in-the-blank tasks in this unit will not be effective. Finally, we have simple present tense. The genre requires consistent simple present tense. Given his subject-verb issues, this is a critical area requiring targeted instruction to maintain formality. These are some key language features from our model text in Appendix 4. The unit's activities also pose barriers. In Lesson 1, we have oral reliance. High reliance on unrehearsed spoken language and spontaneous group brainstorming will disadvantage Student A, whose limited oral vocabulary will hinder background knowledge building. In Lessons 5 and 6, we have abstraction. The tasks on causal connectors assume prior knowledge and lack the explicit grammatical modelling Student A requires. These are visuals showing concept maps and brainstorming activities shown in Appendix 3 and 6. This is a visual showing the focus on causal connectors from Appendix 5. Two final critical challenges remain. In Lesson 4, we have receptive load. The labeling template relies on quickly delivered technical terms from a video. Without repeated viewing and pre-taught vocabulary, comprehension will be low. In Lessons 7 to 9, we have fast progression. While joint construction is suitable, Student A needs slower, more explicit modelling of grammar and cohesion. As Derry Wionka explains, genre-based frameworks help EALD learners by clearly linking language, purpose, and audience. Without this, errors may become fossilized. This shows the Lesson 4 video setup and the Lesson 7 to 9 graphic organizer from Appendix 7. In summary, while the unit targets the explanation genre, its pace and verbal complexity create significant barriers. The activities fail to provide the targeted, high-support scaffolding Student A needs to internalize grammatical and cohesive control before they can write independently. As Gibbons reminds us, learning occurs when students are supported just beyond what they can do alone, with the right support around them. Next, we outlined 4 evidence-based scaffolds to bridge this gap. Marissa will now explain these strategies in Section 3.
Thank you, Chelsea. We now move to Section 3, Differentiated Strategies and Justification. Our core philosophy is to provide high challenge, keeping Student A fully engaged with a Stage 3 curriculum goal, but with high support, ensuring he masters the necessary linguistic features. As Parkin and Harper 2018 remind us, effective scaffolding means gradually handing control over to the student. Therefore, our strategies move logically from explicit teacher modelling to shared writing, and then to independent work, helping Student A build both confidence and accuracy. We justify these 4 strategies by drawing on key academic principles such as explicit language instruction, message abundance, and translanguaging. Our first strategy is explicit language instruction, targeting Student A's consistent grammatical errors. The implementation will be a focused mini lesson before Lesson 7. We will isolate the key deficit, subject-verb agreement in the simple present tense. This method isolates a specific grammatical feature. As Humphrey and Hayo 2019 argue, explicit teaching of functional metalanguage is crucial for accessing the academic register, significantly reducing his cognitive load. Schleppergrill 2013. The activity is a highly scaffolded, low-stakes gap-fill drill like this. Student A practices inserting the correct verb form, example begin or begins, alongside the technical nouns, ensuring his final explanation text maintains the necessary simple present tense accuracy. This activity extends Strategy 1. It's a short nominal group expansion mini lesson used as a warm-up where the teacher presents sentences asking Student A to fill in the correct article a, an, the, or noun form, singular or plural, for the technical vocabulary. Our second strategy is enhancing the joint construction phase using message abundance and structured scaffolding. This approach is implemented via tools like the graphic organizer and explicit modeling. This strategy aligns with Collective Instructional Scaffolding, Michelle and Sharp, 2005. Message abundance provides multiple comprehensible models, allowing student A to internalize the required academic features within his zone of proximal development. Gibbons, 2015. The first tool is the partially completed graphic organizer. This visual tool helps student A visually map the sequence of the cyclone's formation, immediately providing a clear structural framework for the explanation text. Crucially, during the joint writing, the teacher uses message abundance, modelling one simple concept with several linguistic choices. For example, the tropical storm starts is explicitly recast as the academic phrasing, it begins when warm air flows in. This immediately highlights the shift to academic causal structures. This causal connects poster provides student A with constant visual reference for the academic linking words, such as because, when, and due to, helping him build complex, cohesive sentences. We pair this with a cause and effect explanation video to explicitly model the language in context, providing both visual and auditory reminders for this critical genre feature. Our third strategy, multimodal support, directly addresses the high receptive load of the Lesson 4 video activity. We implement this through two core visual tools, pre-teaching with flashcards and scaffolding the labelling template. The justification is that we are explicitly leveraging multimodality to make abstract concepts concrete. As Year 2014 highlights, using visuals gives multilingual students more ways to make meaning and helps reduce the receptive load by activating prior knowledge. Fairhoven and Droop, 1998. This is a core EALD progression principle and supports visual literacy in science, as documented by Turney, 2023. To launch this, we pre-teach essential vocabulary. The teacher will provide flashcards featuring simple illustrations paired with key technical vocabulary, such as air pressure and atmosphere. This immediate visual pre-teaching builds essential vocabulary and conceptual understanding. The second tool is the template itself. During the video, the blank template from Appendix 7 will be partially pre-labelled with visuals and key terms, like you see here. This crucial visual scaffold immediately reduces reliance on the fast-paced spoken language, letting student A focus purely on matching the remaining scientific concepts. Our final strategy is translanguaging and first language support, focusing on creating a culturally and linguistically sustaining classroom environment. For implementation in Lesson 1 and 6, Student A will be actively encouraged to use his first language, Mandarin Chinese, to discuss and clarify complex concepts. This approach embodies culturally sustaining pedagogy by validating the learner's full linguistic repertoire, as highlighted by Paris and Allen, 2014. The use of translanguaging significantly reduces the cognitive load when tackling difficult ideas, Olehead, 2019. Crucially, this treats his first language not as a deficit, but as a powerful intellectual resource for transferring knowledge to the English academic register. Garcia, 2014. A key resource for this is the Dual Language Glossary. This tool is used in conceptual tasks to help student A first build a stable conceptual understanding of terms like air pressure in Mandarin Chinese, allowing him to focus on the science before the English writing. That concludes our differentiated strategies. Chelsea will now provide a final summary of our analysis and conclude our presentation.
To summarise, by aligning Student A's needs with the unit's academic demands, we developed a high support model using explicit language instruction, message abundance scaffolding, multimodal resources, and translanguaging. This framework bridges the gap between his current proficiency and the requirements of the factual explanation genre. As Paris and Alim emphasize, culturally sustaining pedagogy values a learner's full language repertoire. By building on student A's strengths in Mandarin and English, we are helping him grow as a confident multilingual learner. Thank you.